What were some of the biggest challenges that peace builders faced in Liberia's post-war recovery?
There were a lot of challenges, and because civil war, what civil war does is it breaks every structure of a society. It destroys the people mentally, physically, infrastructure, educational wise, everything it destroys. It destroys it. So building trust was a big challenge during the civil war in Liberia because a travel war, everybody we are somehow related in Liberia. So a lot of Liberians, maybe you may have your dad coming from central Liberia and maybe your mom coming from western Liberia. So central Liberia, western Liberia, they speak different tribes, right? So if
Yes.
there was a civil war, you don't know who to trust because your maternal generation fighting against a paternal generation. So that's how confusing and challenging the war was. So after the Civil War, there were great issue of distrust. People did not trust anybody, even religious organization, religious leader. Building trust was a big challenge. So it took a lot of energy and a lot of work to build trust. And another big challenge that it hasn't been highlighted into articles, but because I was involved as a peer educator is the DDRR, that is the disarmament, reintegration, rehabilitation of the child soldier. The challenge that brought was there were, child soldiers who were called to return their weapons, and the United Nations were paying them for that, right?
Yeah.
So because it had a financial aspect, there were people who did not fight the war, who were not child soldier. So what they started doing, if they knew the United Nations was giving like $150 to a kid to return his weapon, and then that kid is going to benefit from like a life skill training or other educational like computer skill, another guy who is able to give that kid a $250, we give the kid the money and then take the kid money, gun, and go and disarm, even though he or she did not fight the war, but
Mm.
because he wanted the benefit of that. So that was another downside of it. So the actual people who were to benefit from the disarmament process, there was some missing middle, some missing link between that. So what happened is those kids, because they did not have the chance to go through the process of this disarmament, mental health counseling, and other incentives that were provided, they just became what they call war-affected youth. So they were just roaming around doing drugs, harassing people because they did not go through the process. But there were some of them who really benefited. They were incorporated into the society.